Hey everybody, here with PressPause with Westside. Just wanted to take a couple of minutes and talk about fruit. I love the real life applications that are scattered throughout the New Testament. I think about the recipients at that time of the Gospels and the letters who could take away these concrete things from these stories and parables and apply to their daily lives and have an understanding of what they meant, whether it be the mustard seed, the sower, or fruit. The concept of what kind of fruit a Christ follower produces is discussed many times throughout the New Testament. I was talking with somebody the other day actually about this topic and what does someone who leads a Christian life look like? And so I was reading more and was looking at the fruits of the Spirit, which most of us have heard about. In Galatians chapter 5, Paul writes that the Holy Spirit produces in us this kind of fruit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, and self-control. And I was reading that, I was thinking about how the Holy Spirit produces this in us. I'm not producing the fruit. And that's the point I want to talk about, is that I'm not capable of doing this on my own. All good things come from the Father. And my ability to reflect or transmit that is directly related to my connection to Christ. I'd like to take a little literary leeway here if I could and use Jesus' words that John writes down in his Gospel in chapter 15 to combine actually two different stories on this topic. Remain in me, and I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. So Jesus is telling us in these words that his ability to produce fruit through us is directly dependent upon our connection to him. A better connection, the more supply we get from the vine, the more fruit is produced. Our lives as Christians should be devoted to that cultivating connection with Christ. On the contrary, earlier in Galatians chapter 5, the desires of the sinful nature are listed. It includes words like quarreling, jealousy, dissension, division. These things aren't coming from God. They're not being supplied to us through the vine. As Christ is able to produce fruit in us based upon our connection to him, the desires of the sinful nature come from a disconnect. And so when our world's been turned upside down during these turbulent times, now is the time to really focus on making sure we are cultivating that connection so that the fruits of the Spirit can be displayed in our lives, because the world will know us by our fruit.